My name's Franklin. I am a Silver Heights alumni. So before Sturgeon Heights became Sturgeon Heights, it was Sturgeon Creek. I went to Silver Heights, and that's the school that got merged into Sturgeon. Mr. Walks was my computer science teacher in 2002, 2003, before all of you were born. Yeah, okay. Now I feel old. Now I feel very old.
But as old as he feels,
Yeah.
what does that make me?
So I did comp sci in high school, and then I came here to do an undergraduate computer science degree, and then I went and worked in the National Microbiology Lab for a couple of years. That's a great big building that's on Arlington Street, and they do like research on viruses and bacteria and stuff. I worked in a lab called the Bioinformatics Lab, where I kind of helped a lot of microbiologists solve problems that they have with life sciences stuff, which was super cool. And then I came back here and did grad studies. I got a master's degree in computer science, and then I went back and worked there, and now I came back, and right now I'm an instructor in the Department of Computer Science. And this year I'm acting associate head of the department, one of the two acting associate heads. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm Zach. I'm a Sturgeon Heights grad. I spent 1 year at Silver, was there during the amalgamation, graduated in 2010. Obviously, Walks was also my CS teacher. I was an IB student back when that was a thing the university did. The university did, the high school did. My journey is very similar to Franklin's. I finished up high school, came here, did my undergrad in CS. I then was lucky enough to spend 5 years working at Google in New York City before coming back here to do grad studies. I'm finishing my master's now, although I'm taking my good sweet time with it. Partially because they're allowing me to teach, which is a terrible idea for all the students involved. But I'm a sessional instructor here, and I've been teaching courses for the last year. And I'll graduate eventually and figure out whether they're going to get rid of me.
We're going to start failing to make courses, so we have to stay.
I've done all my courses. You have to get my committee to not accept my defense.
So I think what I want to do to start is just take you on a quick tour of campus. The quick tour of campus is just literally going to be walking around this building right here, and I'm going to point to some of the other buildings. But the main target is that building right there. That is Engineering 2. There are 3 different engineering buildings on campus, and it's all part of the EITC complex, the Engineering and Information Technology Complex. E2 is where computer science lives. This building right here is the administration building. This is where a lot of the administrative people work in terms of like university administration. In the fall, there's kind of like welcome to campus events that are happening there. Protests going on. This building right here, just because they are big enough to hold everyone that's registered in their courses. Most of them are going to be like 100 to 120 students per section, and we usually have several sections of each of these courses per term.
Over the past year, in the first 2 introductory courses, there are about 400 students total apiece.
Yeah.
So 400 students taking the first year computer science.
Yeah, so lots of people, but I mean, if you're taking CS right now, you've got a leg up. You already have a very good sense of what's going to be in probably both of those 2 courses, 1010 and 1020, before you even started. So good work.
Not to toot a horn, but how did you guys feel coming out of high school in my class? Please be brutally honest.
How did I feel?
Like, did you feel like you just said fairly well prepared or not?
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I took Comp 1010, and I spent most of my class time playing Game Boy because I didn't really need to pay attention in class because we did everything in class with Mr. Walks already. So I didn't really need to. And then what I did for my second term of my first year was start taking second year courses. So I started taking 2,000 level courses in my first year because I had finished all of the stuff for the first year courses. And when I did IB, I was able to get credit for Comp 1020. I'm not sure how AP works right now.
Just 1010.
I think it's just 1010.
Yeah.
But even getting past 1010 a little bit more quickly can help.
Yeah, I was the same boat. As an IB student, I also got transfer credits for 1010 and 1020. and I was familiar with the concepts from some of the second year courses already. Like for data structures,
Yeah.
we covered like
A little bit of trees and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, was familiar with all of the first year stuff and some of the second year.
Yeah.
stuff in this program.
So going into classes in first year university, I mean, the hardest course that I had in first year university, very honestly, was the history courses that I was taking because I was terrible at writing. I did pre-cal in high school too, and that basically covered the first year math courses for me as well, which was super helpful to get that done and out of the way. You know.
I think one of the things that's interesting that you'll get the opportunity to do if you do take computer science here is, if you are taking AP, you'll have transfer credits for 1010. You'll still need to take 1020. But I think that having the knowledge that you do coming out of the program that you're in means that you'll actually kind of get a unique opportunity to work with and help your peers when you come into these classes. One of the things that we do, so when I was teaching these courses, we would do a survey that we'd send out to all of the students, and we would ask them what level of computer science knowledge they had, what experience they had, because many people don't get the opportunity that you do to study this in high school, right? Some schools just don't offer that opportunity. And we would break students out into teams and try and distribute the knowledge, the pre-existing knowledge, amongst those groups. So you also have a unique opportunity to kind of fill a mentorship or leadership role for some of your peers and help them understand the concepts. And kind of one of those, the best way to learn is to teach sort of things.
Yeah.
And that can be a really rewarding experience in and of itself. And it's a great opportunity to get to know some folks and kind of build those social relationships that will help you as you work through your degree. So that's a unique opportunity to have.
Thanks, guys. The e-transfer should go through later today. Okay. Yeah.
All right, maybe let's head back out and all the computer science stuff is kind of basic area. Just work in the fifth floor of this building. So we're going to head up to the fifth floor right now, the 500 level, and we're going to go see a couple of the grad research labs. Informatics lab, and I'm not sure how long you've been here.
Going on
4 years. So Carrie's been around for about 4 years. His
So for example, in this so I did a study with kids from age 7 to 11, and I wanted to see whether they would like to create drawing tutorials for other kids. So I kind of like involved kids in my study, and then I asked them to draw something and see how they would create a tutorial that would help another kid to create or like follow the same process and create a drawing. So I found that kids can actually do that. They were excited, and based on their feedback, I created an app, and I saw that okay, they can use it and they can create the tutorials. So that.
that cool. I can stand up.
Stands up like me.
It's super cool.
All these young people.
And yeah, then I can just sit back down.
And also, you're also currently underestimating just how hard it is to make a robot stand
Yes,
up.
yes.
that is wild.
And then it can also do Tai Chi.
Remember, one of the things about translating problems to computers, and this is something I'm sure you've run into when solving the problems, is the way to solve a problem might be particularly intuitive to you as a human being, right? They talked in the other lab about how humans are really good at recognizing patterns and those sorts of things, right? Well, balance and fine motor skills are things that you don't even think about, right? These are things you take for granted. But think about how you can encode that in a way that allows a computer to manipulate physical objects in the way that humans do, right? There's a lot that goes into it, you just don't fully understand.
And then hopefully it'll listen to me. I can ask it to sit. Ivo, sit. Okay.
It's like my dog.
Ivo, sit.
You had to sound disappointed last time.
Yeah. Ivo, please sit. Okay, there you go. Well, that's not really sitting, but yeah. One thing that we've unfortunately discovered with these is that the robots tend to respond better to male voices. Probably just because that's how people tend to test them. So that's one important thing that we're learning in our lab is how can we actually build these systems for everyone, not just
Me.
Yeah. That might be helpful for people, like taking care of a pet is kind of helpful for people's well-being. So it has this horn that lights up different colors, and this kind of explains like what it needs, sort of like a Tamagotchi. If you guys are familiar with that. So right now it's both lonely and it's cold. So this like little heat pouch you can put in the microwave and heat it up to put it back into the robot's pouch to make it.
That's from Canada? That's our bad influence.
To be honest, like not super useful.
And it's definitely the most expensive robot.
Exactly.
It looks really cool though.
It looks really cool, and it can dab, and it can play the saxophone, and it can like follow face tracking and stuff. But one thing we talk about is it has this tablet on the front, which we kind of say is sort of like an admission of failure by the company. Because they sort of want it to be like a thing that you interact with socially, right? But then they couldn't get it to work, so they just put a tablet on the front. And so it's kind of like a kiosk here. Yeah.
Kiosk.
Yeah. Do they want to have any other questions, like questions for the other? Yeah.
Come up with any kind of interest and still kind of connect it to computer science to some aspect.
Yeah, I agree on that because and also another thing is sometimes we feel, especially from our background, in our country, people expect students to like go into engineering, science, or like in medical, and there is this pressure. But I would say like try to understand what your passion is, because if you are like committing to do like a 4-year degree, so you must have something that makes you attracted to the subject area. And about like what he said about different aspects in computer science, I agree. Like if you are interested in medical, but you couldn't get into that, but you wanted to do